இந்த ப்ரெசென்டர் ரைட் வாங்கிட்டீங்களா? You are on mute, Aravind.
Yeah. Sir, ஒன்றும் இல்லை, ரெண்டு ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் வச்சிருக்கேன். ஒன்று தி மெயின் ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் which will run for a lot of slides. இன்னொன்று வந்து just the programs
Chat.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. If you can hear me, please type yes. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. If you can hear me, please type yes. So I welcome all of you now. Mr. Arvind, start the presentation.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Jasmeet. I hope I am audible to everyone. Ms. Jasmeet, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
All right. So a warm welcome to all the participants and students over here. Some of you have already connected with us, Vellore Institute of Technology, and the coordinators in the past few weeks. I have with me Dr. Vijay Kumar Chandrasekharan, who is the Director of International Relations Office, and myself, I'm Arvind Sivamani, the international. I am the admissions coordinator at the International Relations Office at Vellore Institute of Technology. Now, I'm assuming I'm audible and clear to everyone. I'm going to start the presentation. Everyone is able to see the screen here. So again, I do realize that most of you have been through this presentation, but this is for the benefit of those who have might not have seen this or might know about VIT. They might want to get a better insight and information about VIT. So for those students, I'm going to start. So Vellore Institute of Technology, it was started as Vellore Engineering College in the year 1984. And when we started, it looks something like this, as you're seeing on the screen. We started with just 180 students. This was in the year 1984. And fast forward to 2001, we got a deemed university status. So Vellore Engineering College has become a Vellore Institute Technology. And today, this is how the campus looks. It's more than 300 acres big. And this is one. This is the one on the picture that you're seeing is our Vellore campus. We have 4 campuses totally. Vellore in Tamil Nadu, Chennai in the state of Tamil Nadu, and then Amravati campus in the state of Andhra Pradesh and Bhopal in the state of Madhya Pradesh. So total of 4 campuses we have. Vellore is our biggest and oldest one. The one that you're looking at the picture is our Vellore campus. So after the year 2019, since the year 2019, like I mentioned earlier, we have a total of 4 campuses. So just a bit of information for the students where they distribute, how the campuses are distributed. 4 campuses. So one in Chennai, one in Vellore, one in Andhra Pradesh, and one in Madhya Pradesh. Today, VIT has about 40,000 students. All states of India, that goes without saying. And then students from 50 plus countries are doing their several programs at VIT, both undergraduate as well as postgraduate. All kinds of programs are there. We have students from 50 countries. So, okay, Mr. Divesh, it's been noted. I'll try to be more clear, and I'm guessing it's probably something to do with the internet connectivity at either my end or your end. If it is my end, I apologize, but I'll try to go slow for the. Okay, I'll try to go slow for the people who are saying my voice is not very clear. So. Vellore VIT has been recognized by the government of India as an institution of eminence. So only 10 public institutions and 10 private institutions were recognized under this institution of eminence umbrella. And one of the private university, one of the top private university, Vellore Institute of Technology, has got this recognition of Institute of Eminence. We have also, academically oriented, we have been ranked #1 private institution for innovation. This award is by the government of India. These are the accreditations, some of the accreditation. I'm going to run through these. We got A grade, we have completed several cycles, and then we are going for the 4th cycle. One of the most important accreditations for Indian universities. This is one of the global accreditations. We have been accredited twice, and then we are going for the 3rd time accreditation. And then ABIT again is USA accreditation. So this basically means that most of our programs that are offered, especially the engineering programs, they are all aligned. The course and syllabus is aligned with the system that's followed in USA. This is for the benefit of the students who want to do their BTech in IT and then want to move abroad, especially to USA. Most of our students go there, so it will be an easy transition for them to do this. Have AC, BSP. Have ACCA. This is for the people who want to do BCom, BBA. So for them, these are one of the main accreditation ACCA that is required for BCom, BBA, the non-engineering and the commerce group. When it comes to the Indian ranking, one of the most important ones is NIRF. Okay, noted, Ms. Jasmeet. I think it's probably network connectivity. So that's why I said I'm trying to go a bit slow over here. So the NIRF ranking, it stands for National Institute of Ranking Framework. In this, VIT is ranked in the top 20, as you can see, in the engineering category as well as the university category. We are ranked 15 in the top engineering universities in India, and then in the university ranking, we are ranked 16, and overall we are ranked in the top 13 ranking. So this should tell you a bit about how VIT has started and how far it has come in the last 30 to 35 years. We also go for other rankings as well. So QS University BRICS, which is the Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So this is the BRICS ranking. We are in the rank 200, and then we are also ranked in the Asian ranking as well as world. So as you can see, it's either in the top 200 or the top 300 or in the top 1000 overall ranking, world ranking. We've also got QS rating, and specifically for teaching, employability, the facilities and infrastructure, the innovation, and the inclusivity of the student population. Inclusivity is both for students as well as faculty members. We have faculty members not only for Indian faculty members, as well as we also have faculty members from abroad. So we'll be looking at those in the slides to come. Is one more feather to the cap that we've earned. So we've had excellence in internationalization, excellence in faculty, and University of Year. Coming years, these are all the awards we have received from FICCI. A bit of information about the Indian category students. For the foreign category, there is a direct admission process. But just for your information, I'm sharing this slide. For Indian students, the only way to come through is through the entrance examination. And this entrance examination is conducted in 4 foreign countries and over 145 centers in India. So close to 2 lakh people, students write this exam, and we are able to take only a bit of that. A small chunk of that population is what we'll be able to get. It's a highly competitive exam. Close to 2 lakh students write exam, and then maybe 4,000 to 5,000 students only can get in. That's the intake every year. But for foreign students, this is not the case. Anyone with a foreign nationality, they have an option of direct admission. So you do not have to go through the entrance examination that is conducted by VIT. This is a bit about our faculty and staff members. Of course, we have our faculty to student ratio is 1:20. So for every 20 students, there is a faculty member. So that is how the ratio is distributed. We have visiting faculty, we have project staff, we have academic staff, we have administrative staff, all there to assist and make sure the students' entire academic life is smooth, and it goes on well. It's even within academics, there are a lot of innovations that we have. Most importantly, for people who are joining this year, we have something called fully flexible credit system. Because of course, this system will kick in maybe. This fully flexible credit system basically means that you are in charge of your own timetable. So yes, I'm going to repeat that. You are in charge of your own timetable. So you will be able to choose your timing, the classes, the venue, and even the faculty members that you want to be taught under. So that is basically, so it's no longer like a school system where they say first hour is maths, second hour is commerce, third hour is physics, and so on. So you will be able to give from the given slots and given available slots, you will be able to choose your courses and then make your own timetable. There is a degree of flexibility in the number of credits you can take per semester, and then there is a lot of opportunities for you to catch up with credits. You can also stay back for a summer course and then finish any other few credits that you want to do, extra credits. All that option is there under fully flexible credit system. We have a digital learning management system. Of course, with the current crisis in hand, everything is going digital, but VIT has always been prepared for a digital learning. So the transition has been very smooth for the faculty members, and we really hope that our digital learning platform will be smooth for you from a normal classroom, physical classroom to a digital learning platform. Of course, this is going to be a temporary setup, we do hope that in the coming months that once it is deemed safe by the concerned authorities for you to travel to the campus, we really do hope that you will be able to come to the campus and enjoy the campus as it is supposed to be enjoyed by your seniors as well. So a bit about the proctoring for academic guidance. Every student is assigned to a faculty coordinator or a proctor. So they will be able to tell you, tell you all the information about what courses you need to choose. Like I said, it's a fully flexible credit system. But then again, you will have a lot of doubts as to what course should I take. What is the course? What are the number of? What is the specialization maybe I should go for? So for the queries that are coming in, I'm seeing your queries. I will answer those queries. I'm going as slow as possible. If you want me to go slower, I can do so. Not a problem. Like I said, the proctor will be able to guide you with any information with respect to academics specifically. And if there is anything that you want to do, any project work or internship that you want to do, all the faculty members are there to help you out with anything that is academically oriented. We have we have many digital innovations. We have a biometric attendance system. We have a virtual classroom. And a bit about the Scopus Index. This is basically the research output. The students or the faculty members or the teaching members, a lot of them publish papers. So this is the output of those papers, and the Scopus Index is basically the research output or the citations or the publications that are coming out of VIT as a product of the student collaborative effort, research collaborative effort. This might not make much sense at this point of time, but once you start your classes and once you go on, if anyone who is research oriented, if you're going for a research oriented course, if your entire area of interest is more research oriented, then this will be of use to you. So this point of time, this might not make much sense, but you will know what I'm talking about. You can make a note of the Scopus Index. You will know what the value of this once you join VIT. Again, is a follow-up of the research. And a bit more about that is VIT has been the #1 institution in terms of research output. So these are the number of publications that's been done from 2015. So we've been in the leading spot, and so many papers are getting published, so many research areas are being explored by faculty members as well as students same level. We have some transdisciplinary and translatory work. So these are the research centers. There are about 10 research centers for, again, this is a follow-up of the research, anyone who is research oriented. So these are the labs or the centers where you will be able to carry on with any project or internship or so you will be able to do this with a much more focused, members and staff who are dedicated to taking care of these centers. I mentioned a few slides before that we have faculty members not only from India. We have members with faculty who come from partner universities or reputed universities abroad. They come for a month or two, some stay for a semester, some even stay for a full year. They teach a couple of course or course modules for the students. So this will give students a better perspective as to, even sitting in one place, they will be able to get a global exposure of how courses are taught by different faculty members abroad. Mr. Raj Srivatsav, yes, I'm assuming you asked me to repeat this particular slide. So we have more than 200, more than 190 professors who come from our partner universities or other reputed universities abroad, and they teach a course module, or they stay here for a month or two, or maybe even for a semester, or maybe one full year. They will stay and then they will teach the courses, and you will be able to get a better perspective of how these courses are taught, and it will give you, see, coming to VIT is already a global experience by itself, and going for international faculty members like this increases the chance of internationalization sitting in one place. So that is what you are, game for when you come to VIT. These are some of the, we have a lot of hackathons, industry visits. All this is part of your syllabus or your academic life. We have a library with over those many, more than 2 lakh. As on date, it is 3 lakh books, periodicals, online journals, and so on. So this library is open till late. So students will have access to a lot of the books and volumes, and it is basically like your entire hub, and this is where students usually hang out after the days class is over. So you'll be able to access all these facilities once you come to VIT. Proctoring, I've already told you about this. A faculty coordinator or an assigned faculty member for a student. So coming to our department, international relations, we have several partner universities and agreements. We have over 300 plus MOUs or agreements is what you call it, with several partner universities. So you will be able to carry on a lot of, either going for an international transfer program, or you will be able to do any one of internship or a semester abroad program in one of these universities. We've signed a lot of these agreements, again, for the students' benefit. So students can carry out research or some kind of a project internship in one of these universities. And the transition is going to be very smooth because we are already in touch with most of these university boards. It's going to be very easy for you. So you pick any university that you want to go to, the chances are that it is, you already are in contact with that university, or it is already a partner university of ours. I'm moving to the VIT Vellore campus. Like I mentioned before, this is the first campus, first and biggest, our oldest campus. The picture that you're seeing is our central library, the library I just spoke about. One more information is not all programs are offered in all the 4 campuses. Some of the programs are offered in all the campuses. Some of the programs are exclusively offered in only that particular campus, and some of the programs might be offered in just 1 or 2. This information again is available on the website, but for your quick reference, yes, we do have information technology because they're offered in our Vellore campus. So that query that just came through. And Ms. Jasmeet or Study in India had mentioned that if you have any queries, please save it for the end of this session. We'll definitely be addressing your queries. So moving on to the programs that are offered, these are all the engineering, rather BTech 4-year programs that are offered in VIT Vellore campus. So biotechnology, chemical engineering, civil engineering, computer science and engineering, CSE with a specialization in bioinformatics. So like, as you can see, you have a lot of CSE specializations, information security, IoT, which is the Internet of Things, and then CSE with business systems, CSE with specialization in data science, blockchain technology, which is an upcoming technology that might be one of the key points or the key factors, or it is going to be at a projected rate. Blockchain technology is going to be one of the next best things. So we have a course that is dedicated to blockchain technology. We have electrical and electronics engineering, electronics and communication engineering. We also have electronics and communication with a specialization in biomedical engineering. And for someone who asked, yes, we do have BTech information technology, mechanical and mechanical with a specialization in automotive, and then lastly production and industrial engineering. Some of the non-engineering courses are what you're looking at. We have BBA, BCom, BSc Visual Communication, BSc Multimedia Animation, BSc Computer Science, BSc Catering and Hotel Management. The ones I just read out are all 3-year programs. BDES Industrial Design, BR, BSc Honors Agriculture, these are all 4-year non-engineering. The postgraduate programs, again, a lot of them are offered at the Vellore campus. We are still in the Vellore campus side of it. We have automotive electronics, we have CAD, CAM, we have communication.
They're all bachelor students, Arvind.
Okay. So I'm going to run through. So as you can see, these are all, once you finish your bachelor programs, these are all the ones. Again, this information is available on the website. If anyone has any specific query with this, you can ask later. Moving on to the VIT Chennai campus, this is our second campus. This is just 3 hours away from our Vellore campus. So these are the undergraduate engineering programs that are offered. Like I said, not all programs are offered in all the 4 campuses, right? So we have artificial intelligence and robotics, and we have a specialization in cyber physical systems. We have electronics and computer engineering, fashion technology, mechatronics and automation. These ones are exclusively offered in Chennai campus. We have and the usual civil engineering, computer science and engineering, electronics and communication engineering, mechanical engineering. These you would have seen in the Vellore campus as well. But artificial intelligence, robotics, cyber physical systems, electronics and computer, fashion technology, mechatronics and automation is exclusively offered in Chennai campus. And the non-engineering programs are, we have a BBA 2+2 program in collaboration with Rochester Institute of Technology, USA. And then we have a 3-year BSc Fashion Design. We have BTech Fashion Technology. We also have a 3-year BSc Fashion Design program. Moving on to the next one. This is located.
This is Mr. Arvind. For SIA students, we will be placing them only in Vellore and Chennai. So AP and Bhopal campuses are new campuses. The SIA students will not get any placements from there.
Continuing on that, I'll just run through the these AP and just a bit of information. AP is located in the state. It's in the city of Amravati. That is where the campus is, and it is in Andhra Pradesh. These are the programs that are offered in VIT AP. And then the 4th one is VIT Bhopal in the state of Madhya Pradesh. And these are the programs that are offered in running through. So coming to the fee structures, scholarships and admission requirements. I'm going to explain regarding the overall fee structure and specifically to your SIA scholarship if you have received it. BTech Group A program, we have 2 groups of BTech programs. So we have a Group A and a Group B. The difference will be the fee structure, slight difference in the fee structure. Bioengineering, biotechnology, chemical engineering, civil engineering, electronics and electrical and electronics engineering, electronics and instrumentation engineering, production and industrial, fashion technology, all this come under Group A, which the tuition fees per annum is $8,500. So we give a 40% scholarship for students from select countries. For those eligible for this 40% scholarship, they will be paying only $5,100 per year. So this is for the 40% scholarship and for select countries. Again, what all countries? We'll explain what all countries it is. Group B, so the one that you're seeing, Group A programs, anything that does not fall under this I mean, the BTech programs that will fall under Group B, which the tuition fees per annum is 10,000 US dollars, and after a 40% scholarship for select countries, it comes to 6,000 US dollars per year. Likewise, we have BCA, BSc, BBA, and BCom, for which the tuition fees per annum is 3,450, and after a 40% scholarship, it comes to multimedia and animation is 4,250, and after a 40% scholarship, 2,550 US dollars per year. Please note that this is only the tuition fees that we are showing you. On top of this, there is hostel and food charges as well. We'll come to that later. MSc programs, I'm going to run through this, MBA integrated. So the admission requirements is for BTech, we need a 60% aggregate in physics, chemistry, and mathematics. So PCM, and someone who has only PCB, as in physics, chemistry, and biology, they and with the 60% aggregate, they will be eligible to take only the bio-related programs. The bio-related programs in VIT Chennai and VIT Vellore are, I mean, all the bio-related programs, 3 of the bio-related programs are in Vellore, so which is BTech Biotechnology, Electronics and Communication with a specialization in Biomedical Engineering, BTech Computer Science and Engineering with a specialization in Bioinformatics. So these are the bio-related streams that you can take. The one with PCM can take any BTech program. BS, if you want to go for a BSc Computer Science, we need an overall aggregate of, so for BTech, the aggregate is between physics, chemistry, and mathematics. But for BSc Computer Science or BCA, it is an overall aggregate. So which means all of your subjects put together, there should be an aggregate of 50%. And mathematics should be one of the main subjects that you should have taken in the qualifying examination. For example, if you're a Nepal student and you're of Nepal Education Board, then both your 11th and 12th grade is taken into account. If you are from a CBSE board or an ICSE board, then only the 12th standard mark sheet. Moving on to BCom and BBA, overall aggregate of 50%, and with commerce or accountancy or mathematics as one of the subjects for Nepal board, again it's 11th and 12th. For any other Indian board, it will be for CBSE or ICSE, then it will be a 12th standard mark sheet that you will need to have commerce, accountancy, or mathematics as one of the main subjects for BBA and BCom. Multimedia and animation, I'm not sure if anyone has chosen this, but just running through overall pass in any stream with an overall aggregate of 50%. BSc catering and hotel management, it's just a pass in any stream. It's not even 50%. Moving on to the semester abroad program. So this is, like I said, there are a lot of opportunities. I mean, coming to VIT itself is a global experience that students get to have. On top of this, we do have something called semester abroad program, where the student will be able to carry on for an internship in one of our partner universities abroad. So this semester abroad program will be available to you in the last year, specifically more or less the last semester, where you do go to the project and you return to VIP. So it's just going to be for one semester, and with you'll get to have a good experience. And most of the students, and all the students, not most, all the students who've gone through this semester abroad program have had any good things to say about this, because they are going to get a completely different outlook on how research or project is being carried out in partner universities abroad. So a lot of students travel and then they have this kind of experience and then they come back. and it's pretty clear. They get a better clarity as to what's next, what's to be done. Do they want to go for a job? Do they want to go for higher studies? Do they want to, are they going to be more interested in a PhD program or doctoral program? After that, they get a better picture. Right after or right before this semester abroad program takes place. This is the kind of benefit that a student gets. I mean, it's not just doing the project and coming back. It's also about maintaining a lot of networking and what you actually. I mean, how it has made you what you learned from this truly. It's a comprehensive learning system. Just a image of one of the students who went for this program at Oklahoma State University. And then, apart from the student abroad program, there is one more scheme that we have called the International Transfer Program, where it's not just one semester, it is going to be 2 full years, and 2 years at VIT and 2 years at the partner university that comes under the ITP. You will be able to graduate from the partner university. So you will be 2 years in VIT and then 2 years in the other university. You are getting your degree. You will be graduating from the partner university. So this is quite an elaborate process. It's simple but a bit elaborate, and we have dedicated faculty members who are part of the International Relations Office to take care of the ITP agreements. So if in case anyone joins VIT and is interested in the ITP program, ITP scheme, do let us know. We'll put you in touch with the concerned faculty member. Some of the universities that they have visited: Purdue University. These are the institutes that are part of the International Transfer Program. Binghamton University, Rochester Institute of Technology, Australian National University, Queensland, Beacon, Curtin, RMIT. So as you can see, the ones listed under ITP are all top-ranked university in the top 100. Australian National University is, if you look at, it's in the top 50 or top 20. University West, Plymouth. When you do come to the campus, which we hope is very soon, and you will get to see a lot of activities. I mean, around the year there are a lot of activities that happens, and these are some of the this is all non-academic activities that you will be part of. I'm just again going to run through. It's not just academics all the time. You will have a lot of hobbies and maybe academically inclined hobbies. So for that, we have clubs and chapters. We have, like I says, we have around 150 clubs and chapters. So if someone's interested in nature or photography, then we have a nature club. We have a cooking club for those with a bit of interest in exploring cuisines, and we have a trekking club. This is a technology and gaming club. We have a dance club, and for anyone who's interested in this, is quite a very. I feel that it is a quite a competitive and all that to get into the dance. That's how interested people are. That's how many students there are. And then moving on to the chapters, we have several chapters, and so all these devices or the vehicles that you see was completely designed by students themselves. So the names that you're seeing, Asylum Falcons or Team Kshatriya, Team Manas, these are all the names that they have given to themselves. There's several groups that they do. So there's a flying plane, and then there's a race car. So this was completely done by students, and they did go for a competition in Florida, USA. Like I said, this was completely done by the students. And for those with a bit of environmental or ecology-driven, we have several non-governmental organization clubs that you are part of. one of the technical festivals. This is a technical festival called Gravitas. The one that you're seeing, the main prominent picture that you're seeing is two robots fighting each other. Or yes, that's the contest. And then we have cultural fest called Rivera. A lot of celebrities, international and nationally acclaimed, renowned celebrities come and perform at these festival. It's quite big. Rivera is quite big, and once you here you'll know. I mean, it's quite an electrifying experience, and the entire uh, completely full of life when it comes to the cultural and technical festivals. There's a lot of participation, and it's basically full of energy and vigor. I have included some slides from this thing. So for the students from Nepal who are here, I mean, we have a big community of Nepal students. In fact, one of the students last year got the best foreign student award. And this is Bangladesh, and this is Sri Lanka. And the picture that you see, the students standing in the snow, that was taken in Sweden. He was very courteous to send me this picture immediately. This student got from this one of the Swedish partner universities, and he was doing his research work over there, part of his research work over there, and it was complete. His project was entirely funded by the Swedish university, and that's how appealing they found his research work. So these are some of the opportunities that you are going to be part of. These are, and we've reached the end of this presentation. Now we are open to your questions. I hope I was slow and people were able to hear me. And now we are open to questions if there are any. Couple of questions that was already there. We'll be getting information about online class too. Am I right? Yes, you will be getting information about online class and how it is going to go. You will have a timetable, and it's done on the platform of Microsoft Teams. So you will be added to that team, and then you will have to. It's preferable if you have a laptop with a good internet connectivity, and you will be able to attend classes. The transition from your point of view, it's going to be a bit, you'll get some time to get used to this, but once you get used to it, it will be very smooth. So are there any other questions from students? Dr. Vijay Kumar and I are here to answer your queries if there are any.
Hello?
Yes? Okay, I'm going to read one of the questions put forth by Mr. Divesh. We are not sure about the admission fees. I mean, how should we pay? We can pay the fees on installment, or should we pay at once? Sir, do you want to take this?
You are coming under the study. Hello? The study in India. I don't know. It's clear. Audible? Hello?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Right. See, the fees for after some scholarships. Even though we have agreed to study in India 25% scholarships, but still we provide 40% scholarships to the students from countries like countries from SAARC and Africa. So if you are coming from one of these countries, you will have to pay 40% less than the normal fees, which is in the website. For the first year, you can pay the fees in 2 installments. That is semester-wise at the beginning of the semester, each semester.
So repeating what the director said, for the first year alone, you have a provision where you can pay the fees in installment as in per semester price. You can reach out to us. I mean, what depending on the program that you're taking and the scholarship that you've been allotted to, or the category of scholarship you've been allotted to, I can let you know. If you want a specific number as to how much you need to pay, I can let you know. One other student. Muskan, I had sent a mail regarding my admission for undergraduate course under SII. I wanted to know if it has been appointed with or not. Muskan here, okay, I'm not sure if, okay, you had emailed it to UG admission. No, you're supposed to send it to global@vit.ac.in. So please, whatever mail that you had sent, I'm not sure when you sent this mail, Muskan, but please do send it to global@vit.ac.in. I'm going to type it here for everyone's benefit. Thanks, sir. So whatever mail that you had sent, just forward it to global@vit.ac.in. So we responded immediately, not a problem. If there was any query in that email that you wish to clarify now, you can ask. Otherwise, we can refer to the email later, not a problem. Are there any other queries?
Mr. Tanmay, if you have a question, you can ask.
Mr. Devesh, yes, I was advised by your authorized person to pay some amount of fees as a registration fee, and I'll be allowed to join online class. Yes, that is correct. So you can not the registration fees, the semester fees. If you are paying, you will be able to start classes. Classes just started. They started maybe 2 days back, and you will be able to catch up. If you are going to pay next within this week, and we'll put you in the classes. We'll generate all the login credentials that are required for the online class. We can put you in the class as soon as you make the necessary payment. Again, if you have a specific query as to how much you need to pay, you can reach out to the email ID that we just provided. Mr. Nesar Ali, yes, do you have a query?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
First of all, thank you. Or no?
Mr. Nesar, sorry to interrupt you. Your voice is breaking. It would be preferable if you typed it in the chat box, so it will be easy for us to, quickly reference.
Okay, sir. Do you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay, thank you, sir, for conducting. I really am wondering to know if do you offer scholarships more than 40% in fee in this discount or no?
Sir, you want to?
Yeah, sorry. At this point of time, we will not be able to offer you.
Hello.
There are master students. Are there any master students?
Yeah, there is one query for masters here.
Okay, what is it? What is this?
So it says when I applied through SIA in this particular university, I chose two courses. One is MTech Structural Engineering and MTech CTM, where fulfilled my criteria. I chose the first also in SIA, but I was offered MTech Construction and Technology Management. What is it? No, whatever you've been allotted, we do that. But if you want to change it, I mean, if you want to change from construction to structural, do send an email. I mean, you should.
No. You cannot do that. You have to send it to Study in India, and Study in India officials approve your request. Then only we will be able to change your program. So we go by our first choice. Okay, and what has been recommended by Study in India team. If you want a change of this program, then you need to get the permission from the Study in India.
So continuing on that, you need to send a mail. I mean, if you want to keep us in loop, that's fine. Just send a mail to Study in India saying that you want to change from whatever is being offered to, I mean, whatever your choices. I'm assuming Mr. Adarsh Kaudel, you did something like civil engineering.
Sorry to interrupt. If you are a Study in India scholarship holder, this is very important. You have to get the permission from Study in India. But however, if you are going to be a self-supporting student and you are going to pay by yourself, then we may have to accept your request and change the branch.
So I think Mr. Bishal here is a question. Mr. Bishal, you get a question? We cannot hear you. In case you have a question, please type. Meanwhile, let's take question of Mr. Divesh. Mr. Divesh, please ask your question.
I think Mr. Divesh has already asked this question.
Sir, so when will we getting our online test details?
As soon as the payment is made, like I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, as soon as you make the necessary payments, at least the semester fee, and then you will immediately say, get your login details enabled, and then we'll share them with you. We can even guide you with the basic login formalities, and then you will be able to join classes as soon as possible.
I think Mr. Benjamin here has a question. Please ask your question.
Was given the scholarship by the Study in India. Unfortunately,
Mr. Benjamin, you're breaking. Can you type your query? It will be easier.
Sorry?
Can you type whatever your question is? Can you type it, because your voice keeps breaking and we are not able to hear. Mr. Benjamin, we are not able to hear you.
Mr. Benjamin may type his query. Meanwhile, let's take our next query.
Are you hearing me? Please?
Mr. Nisar, please ask your question. Please ask your query.
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I am selected for the Vellore Institute of Science and Technology with 40% discount. Okay, and I think it is somewhat very high for me to pay annually. So I'm asking you if I provide you with more details about myself. For example, a full package of my application, because I think you have considered my 3 years numbers, okay? Last 3 years school numbers and grades. But I have more qualities. I have, for example, done some very great, for example, extracurricular activities, and I have sport achievements. So can I send them to you so you can once again you consider my application for the next time and check it if you can offer me with scholarship more than 40% or this thing. Thank you.
Sir? Okay, Mr. Nizar, as of now, if you're coming under the G3 or G4 category, we'll be able to give only 40% scholarship, but nothing more than the 40% scholarship if you're coming under the G3 and G4. You can share details, but as of now, the policy is only 40% scholarship.
But sorry, just, how about the study in India team? Do they offer more scholarship? Can they do this or no?
No, I don't think so.
We cannot do that. So everything is through system. We manually do not interfere with the result and scholarship thing. So we cannot do anything from our end. If you wish to try next year, you can apply next year, but the things would be very same the next year as well. Everything
Yeah.
is system driven, so we cannot, even after looking at the documents and looking at how poor or from what background you come, we cannot help you.
Okay, thank you.
The next one is in placement, no placement taken from the university students only, or the companies takes the joint.
I replied, yeah. I replied also. See, the VIT, the numbers shown for the placements are only VIT students. Okay. In fact, VIT holds a national record for highest number of placements from a single institution consecutively for the past 8 years. We call it a national record, it's called Limca Book of Records. If you just go and check yourself, VIT holds the record for highest number of placements from a single institution for so many years.
I think we have a question from Mr. Tanmay. Mr. Tanmay,
Okay.
please ask your question.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible for now.
Sir, my question is regarding the Study in India website.
Okay.
Sir, air tickets can be taken once physical classes will start, right? So presently, how to fill the column for details of air ticket?
Okay, this is a question to be put forward to the SII India coordinator. So they'll be able to guide you with what to fill and how to fill.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Tanmay, for your query, can you please send this email, your query as an email to Study in India studyinindia@htsil.co.in.
Sure, ma'am. I have 3 to 4 questions here regarding the visa also.
Okay, please ask. Or better, Study in India queries can be emailed to Study in India after you tell me what the queries are.
Okay. So I am a Nepalese citizen, so we don't require visa.
No,
There
you
is
don't.
no option. So there is no option for Nepalese citizen in such case. So what should I fill in the visa column?
Okay, what else is your query? Your next query?
And yeah, regarding air ticket, once we choose that we will book it later, the processing tab will remain processing for indefinite period. So I think there is a problem, or I don't know what it is, but it doesn't go further. So this is my query.
What else?
That's all.
So, can you send me an email on your queries, writing all your queries over there?
Sure, ma'am. I'll see.
Yeah, we'll get it resolved.
Okay.
So, Odil here, there is also lab course who will final exam in the first semester also, and it is shown in the syllabus. How will it be conducted in online classes? They do have a system for labs that again is being conducted online. they have a mechanism, so they guide students as to how to go about it. Sir, you want to talk about this?
Yes, it is. Classes are not done now. There'll be some preliminary fundamentals, whatever been taught, it will be taught through the online. But actually, there is a plan to do lab classes towards the end of the semester. We were hopeful that we'll be able to be on campus by the end of the semester. And during the time, you will be called and you will be asked to attend labs. I mean, in case it is not happening, they will find a mechanism, and we are working on it, and we will keep you posted. I mean, you will, when you are attending classes, you will come to know from your particular proctor, because we have a very good proctor system in place where 20 students are allotted to one proctor, and you will be interacting with them, and they will keep you posted on these kind of developments, as and when it is required. You can also interact with your proctor.
Okay, Raj Srivatsa, what is the placement number of IT students last year? I'll share the link of the placement section of our website. You will be able to find more information over there. And moving on to query, Mr. Divesh Chaurasia. Actually, I received a mail from global@vit.ac.in. I was written the I see registration fee and 1 semester fees within 7 days. There might be chances get cancelled. Mr. Divesh, if you are willing to join right away, then yes, you need to pay the semester fees as soon as possible. I mean, if you require any other particular help in this regard, just let us know. Right? Send a mail back to global@vit.ac.in. We'll tell you how it is to be paid and by when it is to be paid. Like I said, classes started from 28 for you. So if you pay at the earliest, you will be able to start classes as soon as possible. Coming for placement, we've heard that there is no good number of placements. So mainly I came to know that many companies are coming for CSE and IT. So is there any core company that are coming and taking placement for civil, mechanical? If yes, you can.
You can go and check the companies which are visiting. The core companies like L&T, even mechanical, so many people are coming, as my colleague said, he will send you the link. You can go and check it out yourself.
Any more queries? You can please raise hand.
So Vishal, classes will start on, it started on 28. There are no hidden charges. I mean, whatever you see on the offer letter, whatever you see on the website, that is the fees.
I think then we should conclude the session if we do not have any more questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you for SIA team for providing this opportunity to interact with the students. And thank you all the participants for patiently listening to my colleague. And thank you for your interest in VIT. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Arvind, and thank you, Vijay sir, for this very informative presentation. And thank you everyone for joining the session. For more queries, you can reach out to Study in India or VIT team. They have shared their email ID with you. I hope you also have Study in India's email ID. And yeah, so we conclude the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.